And we are doing a little mini workshop here. This is our workshop space, no walls. So it's like we're doing everything outdoors, because we are, actually. And tonight, we're going to do a meditation, a sort of, this is what you can take home, a kind of generic Tantra meditation that you can always fall back on. So I know you can't see me right now, but as it gets darker here, our candlelight will begin to be effective. So you don't really need to see me anyway. You saw the view. That's what's really great here. So I ask you all to find your seat, your meditation seat, and get comfortable. And we will proceed. So glad to see everyone here. Well, actually there, but you're sort of here also. So let's close our eyes. If you hear a little bit of the waves in the background, that might be helpful. Checking through your body, noticing where there's tension. And where you find tension, just allow it to melt away. Starting at the top of your head, the muscles of the scalp, the forehead, tension and tightness in your face, not going to be useful in meditation. Or in your jaw, your cheeks, even check in inside. Is your tongue relaxed? Especially the root of the tongue. Tension there indicates a readiness and an intention to speak, but we're not going to do that right now. So you can relax the tongue. And then bring your attention to your neck and shoulders. Any tension there. Also release. Don't forget your arms, upper arms, forearms, your hands. tension in the hands represents a readiness to do something, some action with the hands. But we're not doing that either. So you can allow the hands to release and relax. And the shoulders. Even if it's your responsibility to hold up the world during the day, when you meditate, you're off. You get time off. So you can relax the shoulders. And then moving on down into the torso. The muscles of the chest, around the rib cage, abdomen. Releasing tension there allows your breath to move freely and spontaneously. And now the pelvis. Any of the muscles around or inside the pelvis that are tight and tense, especially around the perineum, the buttocks. Just let that go. And then the legs. First, the thighs. The front of the thighs, the back of the thighs. Your knees, your kneecaps. And finally, the lower leg. Just allowing all the tightness to melt away. And finally, your feet. And at this point, you can notice, is my mind calming, or is it still just running along with thoughts and worries and concerns? If it hasn't quieted, this would be the time to do some breathing exercise. You could do Nadi Shodhanam, and some of you know how to do that, some may not. But this would be a time, if you need to calm your mind further, to do 5 or 10 minutes of alternate nostril breathing. And now turn your attention to the breath. Just observing your breath. At this point, we're not critiquing the breathing pattern. We're not trying to change anything. We're just observing the breath. Observe the rate, observe the rhythm. Observe what parts of your torso expand when you inhale. Mm. And now we're going to bring our attention to the lower tip of the spine. And as you inhale, follow up the spine with your attention until you reach the top of the head. And then on exhalation, follow back down the spine until you come back to the lower tip of your spine at the end of exhalation. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Letting your attention sweep up the spine as you inhale, like a spotlight. Coupling the attention and the breath is a very powerful thing to do. If your attention wanders, bring it back to the spine and the breath. Bring it back to the sweep up the spine and down the spine. So this practice also helps you develop focus. Focus is extremely important in any inner work. Because we're trained to attend mostly to the outer world. And sustaining attention into the inner world requires some practice. It's a new skill. And every time your mind wanders away and you bring it back, you're developing that skill. So it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. Up the spine on inhalation, back down the spine on exhalation. And when you've done that for a little while, and you feel it's clear and vivid in your awareness, then you can begin to add a sound a silent sound, so to speak, a mantra. And the simplest and easiest is so on inhalation and hum on exhalation. So following up the spine with your attention and imagining the sound so as you do that. If it helps you to remember, you can imagine the word soar, soaring upward. But the mantra is so. Inhaling so. And then on the exhalation, imagining the sound hum. Hum. So upward, the crown of the head, hum down, back to the base of the spine. Just stay with that for a few minutes. Remembering that if your mind wanders, bring it back. And now, if you wish, we can take this, you can take this practice to another step. When you inhale up to the crown of the head with the sound so, you can actually go a little further, stretching up a little bit beyond the head with the sound so, upward. Trying that for a few breaths. And get the feel of that. Maybe for a couple of minutes. Not too far up. If it feels like you feel shaky going up further, then come back down a bit. Just going a little bit beyond the top of the head. And now we can also explore the possibility of going a little bit further down on exhalation with the sound hum, going down through past the tailbone, on through to the ground, heading to the earth, but only as far as feels comfortable. So inhaling, so up to the crown of the head and a little beyond. Exhaling back down to the lower tip of the spine and a little beyond. Just enjoy that experience for a few minutes. And remembering that the upward breath, the soaring upward, is reaching up toward connecting with the unitary consciousness, the oneness. As much connection there as you can handle. Soaring upward to connect to the source of our consciousness and our being. Enjoying that connection. And then when you're exhaling down, the sound hum, the root sound for human, or humus, the earth, exhaling down to connect to Gaia, to your matrix of living beings on the planet, plants and animals and microbes, uh, connecting with the biosphere, the earth Gaia, with the sound hum. I am human. I am standing on the earth. I am grounded in the earth. My physical being is intricately intertwined with all living creatures on the earth. And that is literally true. Hmm. So staying with that imagery, those sounds, noticing that your spine is connected upward to oneness, upward towards the heavens, is connected downward to the earth. My body, my awareness are a conduit connecting heaven and earth. Mm. So, reaching upward, grounding downward. Connecting heaven and earth. And in this meditation, you can continue this process for however long you wish. Could be 5 minutes or 15 minutes or half hour, depending on how much time you have and how much you want to do it. As you practice, it becomes more enjoyable and more exhilarating. And gradually, your life becomes a link between heaven and earth. And then when you are ready, you can begin to let your attention float upward toward the heart center. After an exhalation, let your attention float upward to the heart center and rest there for a moment. Halfway between the highest chakra and the lowest chakra, the heart center. From here, you can remember the upward travel and the downward travel. So after your meditation, you can re-enter your world, your life, anchored at the heart center, remembering the connection up and remembering the connection down. And when you're ready, you can begin to expand your attention outward from the heart center to the right, to the left, remembering your right arm, your left arm, upward to your head, down towards your feet. Coming back into awareness of the space around you, moving your fingers a little, your toes, your head, very gently and gradually coming out of the meditation, but staying anchored at the heart center. And when you feel you're ready, you can let your palms come to cover your eyes. And then when you're ready, you can let them float down to your lap as you open your eyes and keep your gaze fixed on your hands. And then again, only when you're ready, you can begin to unfold your legs, stretch your body a bit, come back into awareness of your physical being. Yeah. And behind me, you can see the sun setting. There. I am here. So after you've had a chance to kind of land and get your bearings, I'm open to questions or comments or sharing or anything that you have to say about your experience or questions about the meditation, whatever you want. All you have to do is unmute yourself, say your name, and then speak. Yes, Lisa, you're not unmuted yet. Oh, okay. Are you speaking? Yeah, speak up, please.
No, I didn't have a question right now.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Your little square was illuminated, so we expected you to say something. That's okay.
Hi, Rudyju.
Yes, dear.
Yes, I remember that beautiful place. It's so nice to see you. I was there last year. It was wonderful.
Nice to see you too.
Now.
Are you well?
Wonderful experience.
Great. Welcome, welcome.
I look forward to moving down there when Americans are more free to travel.
Yes, definitely. Good.
Yeah, it's very blissful going up and down and through the, wonderful to do that meditation again.
Thank you for speaking up. Who else would like to make a comment or say hello or share what you experienced? Yes, Colby.
Hey, hi, thank you. That was awesome. And I came in midway. Comment and question. As I was going up and down, I kept on feeling it, the energy kept on moving very far down and just staying there. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna follow it. And I did. And I was kind of like at this very flat place in the earth. I couldn't go further, or I didn't feel compelled to go further. And then I went back up into my body. And again, the energy pulled me up and out very far. And then I went down through my body. And I don't go as far down into the earth as if there's a plate that I can't get below. And then I kept on shooting up very far and coming back down. And I wanted to ask you your thoughts about that.
Yeah, that's great. We each have our own sort of capacity at any given moment. You know, it varies from day to day and month to month. So you have to be attentive to, well, am I going up so far that I feel disoriented? Then don't go that far. Or am I going down so far that I feel like I'm, you know, kind of disappearing into the earth? Then don't go that far. So as long as you're attentive to that and monitoring, okay, that feels okay, then it's great. The connection is transformative and helpful, and there for everybody. So good. Yeah. Thank you for that question.
I want to go further down to equalize how far up I go, it feels to me.
Yes. Yes.
How
And
do I
that's
do that?
okay. That's a very good question. So that's about grounding.
Hmm.
And I think from what little about I know about you, that that's probably something you need to develop. So you might spend some time meditating on the first chakra, and then meditating on gradually exploring, going down a little bit further, a little bit further. This will probably bring up some thoughts or feelings or whatever that need to be acknowledged. And as you do that, then it will be easier to go down further.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Who else? Christina. How are you?
Hi, Rudyju. How are you?
I'm great. And so nice to have you with us tonight.
It's nice to be with you. Thank you. That was wonderful. I have a meditation question and then a question for you. The first question for you is, have you been in Oaxaca this whole pandemic? Did you just decamp there?
No. We're only here for 6 weeks. And we're doing this little mini workshop in this sort of house that's an outdoor, has no walls. And then we're going to spend some time with some friends and rest and we have a little cabana near the beach where we're totally separate, and we can go out and swim and lie in the sun and walk on the beach. And it's a part work and part kind of a recuperation period.
Got it. I was actually just wondering what some of your thoughts would be on the things that are happening in this country. I was wondering if you were outside of the country the whole time. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Well, just to take it back to the topic at hand, if a student had a question like,
Good.
What made this meditation tantric? What would you invite us to share with them?
Well, I think the first thing that comes to mind is the embrace of and inclusion of and embrace of the lower chakras, especially the first two chakras. And most schools of meditation don't do that, or only after many years of meditating. So I think that's probably the main thing about this particular process that is tantric. But a lot of what it's about is also found in yoga and other schools of meditation. But that's the common denominator in many aspects of Indian Eastern spirituality, especially Indic spirituality, is that the meditation is really it's sort of doing the same thing in different ways, but it's a common foundation, whether it's tantra or yoga or whatever you happen to be studying. Yeah. Thank you for that question. And great to see you. Anybody else? Who else has curiosities or reactions or want more information on the meditation? I know that we've done a lot of different meditations, and so my intention tonight was to kind of say, okay, here's a standard meditation process that you can do on a regular basis. And other times we venture into other processes and directions in these series, but this is kind of the generic plan, the generic process. So please remember it and use it frequently.
Swami Ravi, this is
Yes.
Ellen. I have a question.
Yes.
and a curiosity, and it has to do with meditating in a group versus meditating individually. And like tonight, I often find that I go deeper more quickly meditating in a group.
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
talk a little bit about?
Well, it's very true, and it's one of the reasons we do this is because of the synergy of various people doing something together. It becomes very powerful, and you know that this is kind of a it's related to the fact that we're all one. You know, we are actually all one. We live with the illusion that we're separate, but when we come together with others and sort of, to some slight extent, drop that illusion, then something very powerful happens, because we're connected again, and that's sort of where we belong. You know, but the world that we've created being what it is, we get distracted from that. So returning to the connection is a powerful driver of deeper meditative states. Oops, I'm not a driver of deeper meditative states. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question. It's a very important facet of what we're doing, is the reconnection, the synergy, the fact that some of you weren't there, but I think last week we had a question about what is the most important thing we can keep in mind when we're studying Tantra or meditating, whatever. And what came to me was, the answer that came to me was that we're not separate, even though we're raised to believe we are. We really aren't. And there's so many ways that we're connected. There's only a little fragment of our existence that is somewhat separate, and that's our minds, our lower minds, our mechanical minds, our linear minds, that we lean heavily on those, and that way we maintain the illusion that we're not separate. I mean, that we're not one. We maintain the illusion that we're separate because of that. We spend so much time in that little corner of our existence, which is the mental, the deficient mental, actually, as we call it in the tradition. So, yeah, absolutely. The group thing is good. Thank you, Ellen. Jody, are you unmuted? Okay, speak up. We're not hearing you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Are you muted? No. No? Why can't we hear her?
I changed to a different speaker. Can you hear me better now?
Now we can hear you.
Fantastic. You said something tonight that I hadn't heard you say before, and it just kind of shifted my awareness. You said something like combining your breath and your attention is a very powerful thing to do. And I'm curious if you can just speak for a moment about how in this meditation we are connecting to, and we're connecting to Gaia energy, which is kind of like the feminine and masculine, but it seems like you were saying that also in combining the breath with our attention while we're moving them, that's also bringing us into wholeness, because the breath is like our life force and the attention is like the light of consciousness.
Right. And when you bring those two together, that is actually the intermarriage. So that bringing together the light of consciousness and the life force is another connecting of heaven and earth, and that is separate from the fact that we're doing this meditation, but it's in addition to it. And that is bringing us into the ability to open the sixth chakra, because this third eye, sixth chakra, can't open without the intermarriage. And so all these versions we do of the intermarriage that we think are separate things are all actually moving us toward the same capacity, where we move beyond time, space, and causality. We move into a different reality. We move into the integral consciousness, whatever you want to call it. We move into oneness. But that uniting the consciousness and the breath is a major tool in moving toward that. Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up and catching that. It's not just a little throwaway comment. Yeah. Great. Anybody else? And we're happy to hear more people speak up or ask questions or comment or whatever.
I've unmuted Swamiji. It's Lisa.
Yes.
I know we've done the meditation where we reverse the direction of the breath with the Soham. Am I mistakenly thinking that?
I didn't quite catch that. Can you say that again?
Well, when we inhale from consciousness from up above, and we exhale into the earth. Today,
Yeah.
we inhaled from the earth and exhaled into consciousness.
No, we weren't doing that. I mean, I wasn't intending to do that.
Didn't we inhale from the root chakra up, and then we exhaled down?
Yes, yeah.
Right.
And yeah, right, exactly.
But haven't we done it the opposite way?
Not intentionally. If I
Okay.
did, didn't mean to.
Okay. Well, no, it's probably more me. Okay. I'm glad I asked. Thanks.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you did too. Great. Well, we will continue to try to do these sessions, and each Sunday it's another little challenge to find the tech. Tonight we rustled up help to be able to get this to work, and I expect that next Sunday we will succeed again. So tune in. If we can't make it work, we'll figure out some alternative, someone to be there to guide you. Because I think this is it's a wonderful routine to be in. And on Sunday night we meditate with a group. Why not? Why not keep going? Carol, did you have anything you want to say?
All you can see is my glasses. There we go. I'll lean in. Wonderful to see you all. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we'll send out the invitation. And hopefully we'll have success in offering this next week ourselves. If not, like Swami Ravi said, we'll hopefully have someone helping us fill in. Yeah, the group is very important. And so we want to continue that process.
Never break a good habit.
Never break a good habit is what we just say. So you can unmute yourselves and all say good night and thank you.
Buenas noches.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Swamiji.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, girl. Bye.
Good to see you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you so
Muchas
much.
gracias. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arabella.
Right.